Hi there, guys. So today we have a slightly different kind of video for you guys. We're going to be doing some rapid fire fast fun facts about some of our favorite, most interesting STEM topics. And then you guys can tell us a little more about which things you want to hear more about. So let's start off with an interesting fact about the sun from Fiona.
It takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for light from the sun to reach the Earth. So this means that if the sun were to mysteriously explode one day, it would take us 8 minutes and 20 seconds before we noticed.
So you probably know that plants can grow in soil, but you might not know that plants can also grow without soil. So for example, I've got this really cute spider plant here that's just growing in water in this little vase. This is a bigger spider plant and it's growing in soil. Why can plants grow in so many different mediums? Well, plants just really need a few things to be able to survive. They need support for vertical growth if they grow vertically. This plant, it grows vertically, and the support comes from the soil in the pot. And then for plants growing in water, we provide support through the vase. The second thing they need is moisture. So we provide moisture and water for these plants in soil by watering them. Hopefully you water your plants. And then obviously for plants growing in just water, they just have water. The third very important thing that plants need to survive is oxygen. For plants in soil like this one, it's very easy for it to get oxygen from the air. But plants growing in water can actually get enough oxygen for them to survive. They just use the oxygen that's been dissolved in the water from the air.
Did you know that if ice did not float, life underwater would not be possible? When ice floats, it helps insulate the liquid water below so that the entire body of water does not freeze over. If ice was more dense than liquid water, it would sink, and the whole body of water would start to freeze from the bottom up. So it's a good thing that ice floats, because otherwise underwater life would have no way of surviving cold winters.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have eyes on the sides of your head, like a horse? Wouldn't that be so weird? You wouldn't be able to see directly in front of you, but you'd have like a huge scope of vision. You'd be able to see all the way from there to all the way over there. You could see almost everything at once. So why don't we have that? That seems great, being able to see everywhere at once. Well, actually, having our eyes on the front of our heads is really beneficial because it means we can judge depth really well. If I'm looking at you and you're a certain distance away, my line of sight is going to hit you at slightly different angles from each eye. Whereas a horse would only be able to see you with one eye at once, and it wouldn't get these two different angles. And our brain takes those two different angles and it tells you how far away you are from that person. So if I have my calculator here and it's right next to me, my eyes are hitting it at very steep angles. But then I move it far farther away and they're going to be hitting it at different angles. So your brain can calculate how far away that is. And the reason that that's so useful for us is because we evolved from creatures that lived in the trees. So it was really important to be able to see how far away a branch was so that you wouldn't go falling out of the tree. That would be really bad. This is also important for predators like cats that have to see the right amount of distance to pounce, or owls that have to see exactly where they need to attack, because if they get it wrong, they scare away their prey, the antelope goes galloping off, the mouse goes scurrying into a hole, and the big cat or the owl doesn't get any dinner. For a horse or other similar animals like the mouse or the antelope, it's really beneficial for them to have it on the sides of their head because they don't need to know exactly how far away the predator is. They need to have the widest scope so that if they see a predator, they just know they gotta run. Doesn't really matter how far away the predator is, they gotta run. So that's why we have eyes on the front of our heads, whereas horses and mice have eyes on the sides of their heads.
Did you know that fingerprints are formed while you're in the womb? Koalas have fingerprints that are almost indistinguishable from human fingerprints. There are 3 main types of fingerprints: whorls, arches, and loops. Some people can have multiple types of fingerprints on their fingers. Not just 1 or 2, but even all 3 types.
Hello. If you unwind the small and large intestines in your stomach and stretch it out, it will be 22 feet long. And just to give you an idea, that's like 22 notebooks lined up.
Did you know that gravity exists as a force between any two masses? That's right. When you're holding a pencil, there is gravity between your hand and your pencil. However, you cannot feel this force because gravity is heavily dependent on weight and mass. The reason why you feel gravity between you and the Earth is because the Earth has a large mass.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Please let us know what fun fact you want to hear more about.